Attempt 2. Hi everyone, that's better. The first time I did that, I sounded like a toad. Sorry. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. I didn't include that part. You're welcome then, in that case. I'm a master editor? No. No, but... yeah. No, but yeah. Good. My voice is probably pretty croaky just because I've not spoken for many hours now. When Tom goes to work, I kind of just come up to our room and listen to stuff and play stuff or whatever, and then not talk for a long time. So usually from the hours of 10 PM until he gets home at like 7 or 8, I just don't speak, and I guess my voice gets croaky. I don't know why I just explained all of that to you or justified that, but I did, that's why. Anyway, so I wanted to build a Christmas cabin, bit late though, so let's call it a New Year's cabin, and I guess this one is kind of specifically for the pancake family. It's not actually really. It's not specifically for them, honestly. I didn't make it with them in mind. I mean, how would I just make it a suburban cabin? Can you do that? You can probably do that somehow. Actually, I tried to make a Christmassy looking house the other week. It just looked really... it was basically just a red American suburban home, and I just felt it looked just too boring and too big for what it was. So I made this instead, but I'm late because I'm terrible and don't deserve to live. So instead we have a New Year's cabin because the pancakes, I don't know, I feel like both Bob and Eliza have big families, and so I don't know, they either have both their sides of the family come over for Christmas, or one year they'll go to Eliza's family's home and the next year they'll go to Bob's. I imagine Eliza doesn't get along with either her parents or Bob's, or both. You know, she seems like a hard person to get along with, but either way, she seems like the type of person who's like really obsessed with cooking the best Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner, and when other people bring over their food, she's like, great, now I have to think about how to accommodate their shitty food when I'm trying to cook my own. Thanks. Like, I don't know, she gives me that vibe, that very specific vibe. But then for New Year, okay, so in my game, I've not actually aged them up, but I've made them look a bit older. Have I aged them up? Do they come as young adults or adults? Because in my game they're adults. And there's no greying ginger hair, so I gave her greying brown hair. So, plot twist, Eliza's hair isn't ginger, it's actually brown. She's been dyeing it all this time. What a liar. No, I'm joking. I wanted to give her greying ginger hair, but there is no swatch for that, so she has greying brown hair. Maybe the grey just, like, makes the ginger look... I don't know, what's a good word? It doesn't, oh sorry, just punched the mic. I didn't punch it, that was my nail, so not my fist. Sorry. But yeah, also in my game they have a kid. They didn't, like, even with MC Command Center they still weren't having a kid, and I was like, I'm giving you guys a kid. So they have Marshall Pancakes, that was the name the game generated for their son. I haven't changed anything about his looks, but I don't know how catastrophic a condition he's in because he's still a kid and kids generally look fine in The Sims. But when he ages up, I'll be sure to update you. I doubt he'll be as cute as the Landgrabs kid turned out, which is really weird still, because I posted that in a Sims group I'm in, and some people were like, wow, normally when the Landgrabs have another kid in my game, they always turn out looking a little bit disfigured, but in mine he turned out pretty nice. Maybe they did, maybe they had a test tube baby, I don't know, who knows. Maybe he's adopted and he's just, they were sure to adopt another blonde boy because the world needed more of those. Honestly, in my Sims game, the world probably does need more blonde boys. I don't actually make a lot of them. So it all works out. What are we talking about? Nothing relevant. But yeah, so I did intend for this to be a Christmas cabin, but I'm probably going to make it a New Year's cabin and justify it by saying, you know, Bob and Eliza have busy Christmases, and so on New Year's they now like to take their son to this lovely place, because although they don't get along canonically, in my game they do. And I like to imagine at least Eliza has a really successful job. But I think Bob does pretty well. He's not ambitious, so he's fine not being at the top of the ladder. So he doesn't make as much as he could, and Eliza's like, look, I know you can do better. And he's like, yeah, but I don't really care. I think he'd like to open his own cafe, honestly, so maybe we should have him do that. I just don't have fun really playing Get to Work so much. I like the careers, the three. I like the 3 careers that it lets you do, but I'm not fond of actually having my own retail lot. I just don't find it that fun. I've done it, and Tom's done it, and it's like you do it a couple times and it doesn't feel worth the slog of getting to 5 stars. Same with the restaurant. It's just, there's so much training your employees, and they tend to forget they've been trained sometimes, and I don't know if that's just a bug, but sometimes I will really work on an employee and develop their skills, and then suddenly they'll come into work Monday and be like, oh, I've got a hangover, boss, totally forgot how to do anything, I'm gonna go stand in that corner and do absolutely fuck all. And I'm like, good stuff. You can't do that though. And then they're like, what do you mean? What? How can you say I can't do nothing while at work? That's just offensive, and I feel personally attacked, and I'm going to continue doing nothing. Not that I have personal qualms about it, it doesn't bother me. Yes, it does. It just, I don't know, especially with restaurants in my game specifically, I have so many problems. Whether I'm running the restaurant and trying to manage the employees, or whether I'm just a customer and I end up... It's a good thing restaurants are open 24/7 in The Sims, because my Sims have waited a full-on 12 hours before. The reason I let it go on that long is because I was curious as to how long it would possibly take, and it took about 12 hours. A lot of Sims peed themselves, but I was determined to find out how long it would go on for. So, yes, that was a time. That was a time. Anyway, how were your Christmases? I really did mean to have this up by Christmas, but hey, I'm bad at everything I do, so here we are. With a bad build after Christmas. Good. Last year, I don't know if I should be confessing this, last year I did get a build up in time for Christmas. It was a big Christmas market. I uploaded it in I think 3 parts, maybe 5, hopefully not 5, that sounds terrible. And I didn't voice it over because I was really sick. And I don't mean sick as in like, oh, my voice sounded bad, I had a sore throat. No. I really couldn't. But I managed to edit and upload it, so I wasn't so sick I needed the hospital or anything, I just wasn't able to do a voiceover. That just sounds a bit pitiful now. Like, I wasn't in hospital, I was just being a whiny piece of shit. Okay, let's censor ourselves right there. Anyway, moving on. You may be able to tell I'm speaking a little louder today. Tom's and Anne went home today, so I can speak semi-normally. I say semi-normally because I am recording this at 3 AM, so I should still be relatively quiet, otherwise I'm just a dickhead, honestly. So there's that, but how were your Christmases? You can't answer me verbally right now, but you can comment. I do read them all 0 of them. No, I'm kidding, but I do actually read whenever someone does comment, and it makes me want to live a whole another day. That's exciting. No, but really, it does kind of make my day, not to be sappy or anything, but that's okay, that's sappy. I actually got a comment on a fanfic I updated like over a year ago now, and all it said was, please come back. So I feel bad about that. I have started writing another fanfic, but it's not for the same fandom. I do have 42 pages of it written, and I'm not sure if to upload it because it's, I don't know, it's a fandom I've never written for before. I ran out of fics for the fandom I was currently reading about, so I just delved into old pairings I like to read about. Why am I confessing that I read fanfiction? I probably confessed that before on here. It's too late, I'm in too deep, let's just keep going. So I ran out and went back to some old fics and kind of just re-fell in love with this old pairing. Do you ever do that when you run out of fics for whatever you're shipping now and you're like, guess I'll go back to reading about the old OTPs? Wow, vintage names. Oh my god, does anyone remember when... Can I include this in a YouTube video? The word lemon. Does anyone remember the term lemon? That old fanfic jargon from fanfiction.net. Thankfully, I don't think it's carried over to AO3. Like, we've surpassed that. We've conquered our dark selves. We no longer say lemon. There was also lime and citrus, which, like, what was the point? What was the point in those being warnings? If you guys don't remember what those are, I'm probably too old. Or you're too young. I don't know, man. Hard to say. Both. Let's just go with both. But yeah, so here's a Christmas New Year's cabin that I made for the pancakes, but you can use it for your Sims, because I will too. I put it in Granite Falls, so it's not as if only the pancakes can rent it. Imagine if that was a thing though. Imagine if you could set lots to only be purchased or rented by certain families. That'd be pretty sick. Then it would feel like you owned a holiday home. But then again, the land grabs and the goths could just like have conglomerates or something. You're like, nope, only we can purchase retail lots or whatever, I don't know. Actually in my game I have the Calientes owning this clothes shop I made called Decay Outfitters, which is meant to be Urban Outfitters. What's the ginger one's name? Is it Nina? Yeah, Nina. I felt like Nina would be into that vibe. She seems like she went through her teen phase was a Hot Topic thing, but as a young adult she was into Urban Outfitters. Now I don't know, because now they're young adults. I just said young adult, but now they're like older young adults. They look very adult though. That doesn't sound like it makes any sense. I don't know, I think I am a young adult and I shop in Urban Outfitters, so maybe they also still do. But in the base game, what they're wearing, especially Nina, it's like, where would you get that, and also why? Like, she's wearing such preteen looking stuff. Like, not preteens now, preteens when I was a preteen, because my generation had no fashion sense. Like, I was the worst, but thankfully I was too insecure to explore, like, an actual style. Because I was like, oh, I'll be ugly no matter what, might as well just wear ugly clothes. So I was always wearing, like, tracksuit pants, like jogging bottoms and hoodies. Like, literally that was it. I had an anime outfit. An outfit I never changed out of. Anywhere I went, it was just a hoodie and sweatpants. I had a few variations of colour, you know, navy blue, cobalt blue, slightly darker navy blue that you could almost think was black. Always mismatched, just slightly, like one of the things would be a lighter tone than the other, and the ugliest shoes in the world that were way too big. Not that it matters. I also always wore a backpack that was too big as well, because that was what we did. That was a time. Where was I going with this? Now I'm just talking about how awful the clothes I used to wear were. Not that I'm much better now. I wear very boring stuff because I'm still scared of exploring style and also exploring giving away my money. But I'm better than I was. Maybe. Oh yeah, I was complaining about Nina Caliente style, and then I was like, oh, can't. But actually, yeah, so the clothes she comes with in base game, I don't know, I get like groovy chick vibes, or maybe Polly Pocket, like these really plastic, bright pastel clothes. It's just like, oh god, let's help you, shall we? Whew, oof. Anyway, so this cabin is pretty brown, as cabins are. As cabins often are. I do nearly always cut out putting the wallpapers on because it takes me so long and I go through so many different variations. This was also going to end up red because I was like, Christmas, red, you know, adds up. But it looked awful. so I just went with the more woodsy vibe since it's in Granite Falls. A lot of this build centres around that like lowered pit at the front of the garden. We actually put a little fire pit in there and seats around it and put fairy lights around. It's pretty cute. It's a cute area, good for screenshots. If you care about that sort of thing. I do, because I have a Simstagram. Go follow me, it's my Shunamichi, about my main sim, who I think is cute. My Simstagram is so embarrassing though, like, I think I said this in the last video, but I think most people in the community are 13, and then there's me, like 10 years older, like, yeah, I also like Sims, teehee. No, I know there's a lot of people who play Sims that are older. Like, in the group, some people are like, oh yeah, no, I'm 60 something and I play Sims, I've always played it, it's fun. Good. Good, because I don't plan to stop. I saw a really cute review the other day of, I think it was Animal Crossing. I can't remember where it was, it might have just been a screenshot or something, but it was a woman who was like, oh, I'm 80 years old and this is my favourite game and I haven't stopped playing it since I got it at release. I've always been a gaming grandma. When I was young I was a computer programmer and I started with Zorg and stuff like that. Just so, she listed some really, really old games and I was like, that's so cute, gaming grandma. I'm a fan. I stan gaming grandma. She should make a channel I would watch because that is wholesome content and that is what I'm here for. Anyway, this is kind of it really. Actually, well, not really. We have a part 2 of the decorating because I can't make a short video to save my life. I try kind of hard. I was gonna say semi-hard, that sounded lewd. I try enough. Doesn't always work out. Why do I like windows so much? There are two, like, you look at the outside and you're like, yeah, that's a good amount of windows, and then inside it's like, how can we even put rooms in with this many windows? I do love putting in a diagonal, what are they called again? Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Like the gardening house thing. Jesus Christ, I've forgotten the word. Greenhouse, there we go, gardening house, greenhouse, same thing, right? I'm not an idiot. I'm just a native English speaker. If you're wondering why I'm putting these triangle foundations on the roof, it's so that I can put the, what's it called? That thing, that brown border, so I can put that on it, because those can only go on, like, raised floor, but the default, when you make a room, it doesn't default like a floor at the top, so you have to do it manually, which at an angle you have to do it with the triangles, so that's always a good time. I hate doing it. But I always like putting those on as borders. I think it just neatens it up a little bit. I do it all around the house is what you can see it. You can see it, I don't know why I'm saying all this. I really love raising a house slightly and doing fake stairs. I think it looks really cute. That's what we've got the wood there for, those wooden panels with the dirt in between. That does get filled up with flowers. I'll include a bit of the landscaping, but not all of it, because it's all quite analogous, so it'll just get a bit repetitive over time. But I'll include a little bit of it. Sorry, I need to clear my throat, I need to get water. Why do I never have enough water when I'm recording? I'm so stupid. And I was like, I won't need it, it's all good, and then I do, because I'm dumb. Anyway, we are coming to the end now, so I'm gonna head off. But yeah, see you next time for part 2. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year if I don't see you by then, but I should if I'm not lazy. Okay, bye. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I know everyone forgets to do those things on this website. See you, bye.